The Voice of Defiance. Brought to you by Stage Masters Kenya, crafters of moments, creators of magic. Narrated and produced by Momanyi Duncan. In the heart of Kenya, where politics shapes the rhythm of everyday life and voices of leadership echo across cities and villages, a new generation of leaders continues to rise. Leaders who challenge, question, and speak boldly for the people. Among them stands one figure whose voice has become familiar in political debates, television studios, and the chambers of parliament. His name is Edwin Sifuna. Before the microphones, before the heated debates in parliament, and before the national headlines, Edwin Sifuna was simply a young boy growing up in Western Kenya.
I remain a loyal member and the duly elected Secretary General of the ODM party. I remain committed.
Like many children raised in modest circumstances, he grew up in a world where determination and education was seen as the surest path toward opportunity. His childhood was shaped by discipline, curiosity, and a deep awareness of the social realities around him. Those who knew him during his early years often recall a boy who asked questions, many questions. He was outspoken, curious about leadership, and fascinated by discussions that others his age might have ignored. In classrooms and school compounds, he developed an early love for debate. Words, ideas, and arguments fascinated him. Even as a student, he demonstrated a remarkable confidence when expressing his views. Education soon became the vehicle through which he would pursue his ambitions. After completing his early schooling, Edwin Sifuna joined the prestigious University of Nairobi, one of the country's most respected institutions of higher learning. It was here that he chose to study law, a field that would shape not only his professional path, but also his understanding of governance, justice, and political power. University life exposed him to a wider world of ideas and political discussion. Kenya, like many democracies, was constantly evolving politically, and campuses often served as arenas for intellectual and political debate. In lecture halls and student forums, Sifuna sharpened his analytical skills and strengthened his ability to articulate complex ideas with clarity and confidence. After earning his law degree, he proceeded to the Kenya School of Law, where he completed the professional training required to practice law in Kenya. This period marked a critical phase in his development. Here, he refined his understanding of the Constitution, public institutions, and the legal structures that govern society. But even as he trained as a lawyer, the pool of politics remained strong. Law gave him a platform to understand the rules that guide leadership, but politics offered him the opportunity to influence the direction of the nation itself. As Kenya's political landscape continued to shift, Edwin Sifuna stepped into public life with growing confidence. His sharp communication style, his command of facts, and his willingness to engage in tough political arguments quickly caught the attention of national political circles. Eventually, he became an influential member of the Orange Democratic Movement, widely known as ODM. The party, led by veteran opposition leader Raila Odinga, has long played a major role in shaping Kenya's political discourse. Within ODM, his rise was swift. His ability to articulate party positions and respond to critics made him one of the most recognizable voices within the movement. Political talk shows, press conferences, and public rallies increasingly featured his presence. Whether addressing supporters or debating opponents, he spoke with a boldness that quickly became his trademark. Eventually, Edwin Sifuna was appointed Secretary General of the Orange Democratic Movement. The position placed him at the center of one of Kenya's most influential political organizations. As Secretary General, he carried the responsibility of coordinating party affairs, communicating policy positions, and representing the party's leadership in national conversations. In this role, he became one of the most visible faces of opposition politics in Kenya. His speeches were widely shared, his statements often sparked national debate, and his presence in media discussions became increasingly frequent. For supporters, he represented courage and clarity. For critics, he represented a confrontational style of politics that demanded constant scrutiny. Yet, politics is rarely a smooth road. Like many leaders who operate at the center of national debate, Sifuna's journey has included moments of controversy, internal disagreements, and intense political competition. But through these challenges, his voice has remained consistent, direct, outspoken, and unapologetically vocal. A major turning point in his political career came during the 2022 general elections. In a highly competitive race, Edwin Sifuna contested the Senate seat representing Nairobi County, the country's capital and one of its most politically influential regions. The election attracted enormous public attention. Nairobi, a city of millions, represents the political, economic, and cultural heartbeat of Kenya. Winning the Senate seat would place Sifuna at the center of national legislative power. When the votes were finally counted, Edwin Sifuna emerged victorious. His election as the senator for Nairobi marked a significant milestone in his political journey. Inside the Senate chambers, he quickly established himself as an active and vocal participant in parliamentary debates. Representing the interests of Nairobi residents, he addressed issues affecting the capital city while continuing to play a visible role in national political discussions. His speeches in parliament, interviews in the media, and public appearances across the country continued to reinforce his reputation as one of Kenya's most outspoken political figures. Whether addressing matters of governance, public accountability, or political reform, Sifuna remained consistent in his approach, direct, assertive, and unapologetically vocal. For many observers, his journey reflects the rise of a new generation of Kenyan leaders shaped by education, media engagement, and a willingness to challenge traditional political boundaries. Yet even as his career continues to evolve, the story of Edwin Watenya Sifuna is still being written. Political leadership is rarely defined by a single moment. It is a journey shaped by decisions, debates, victories, and setbacks. From the classrooms of Western Kenya to the lecture halls of the University of Nairobi, from legal training at the Kenya School of Law to the intense political arenas of the Orange Democratic Movement, and finally to the Senate chambers representing Nairobi County, Edwin Sifuna's path reflects the determination of a man who chose to enter public life and speak boldly within it. As Kenya continues to navigate its democratic journey, voices like his will remain part of the national conversation, challenging power, defending ideas, and shaping the debates that influence the country's future. And so, the journey continues. The voice that once belonged to a curious student in a classroom now echoes across the halls of parliament and the screens of national media. Whether praised or criticized, supported or opposed, one thing remains certain: the story of Edwin Watenya Sifuna is a story still unfolding. And for those who follow Kenya's evolving political landscape, the next chapter may be the most significant yet. This documentary was brought to you by Stage Masters Kenya, crafters of moments, creators of magic. Narrated and produced by Momanyi Duncan.